Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the 2020-21 school year. If this is weird for you, it's equally as weird for me. Normally, we're in the auditorium. Normally, it's packed and seeing the excitement and listening to the conversations of what people did during the summer. I miss that, and I know you miss that too. But some things aren't different. Like always, I still don't sleep well before this day because I stress about, did we do everything? Do we have everything in place? How's my presentation going to go, etc. We look at, I also think, wow, where'd the summer go? Because it always is one of these things of, it just seems like yesterday that summer started. So again, welcome back. I'm in the district office, if you can see. Joining me is Kate and Kelly. And so we are social distancing, we are wearing masks, etc. And we are doing this live instead of taping it because I want to show everybody that things aren't going to be perfect. And we originally intended to do this via Zoom. But I guess I did not pay homage to the Zoom gods enough because my access went from 1,000 down to 300 at the end of last week, and today Zoom is acting wonky. So as like all of you experience as we're doing this, there's going to be some glitches. So again, welcome back and let's get going. Okay, Paul, it won't advance. Technical difficulties, my slide will not advance. There we go. Just had to do a different button. So again, like I said, this is not going to be perfect. This is going to be a little glitchy, but that's okay, folks. As I said and I started out, this school year is unlike any other in recent memories. We're asking all of you to, they can't see me? Okay, I understand that you can't see me, so we are, hold on, technical difficulties. Okay, we will resume. As I said, this year is unlike any other year. And we're asking, and I'm asking, all of you to be outside your comfort zone, to do things that you may have not been able to do or did before. I'm asking that of myself. And together, we can do this. Because the theme this year is in this together. And we are in this together. As a school district, as a system, we need to keep running business as usual and learn skills and stretch new muscles and think creatively and think outside the box. And we do this together. Again, the comfort zone is not where the magic happens. It's not where we are connecting with the students. We have to reach out in different ways. We have to make different connections, and we'll do it together. And as we banded together, and I can't tell you how impressed and how thankful I am for how we responded in March to shifting to virtual. I know that we are going to respond right now together and do this for our students. Because we have to. We will, and we will do this. And so I want you to join me as we put our best foot forward. It's not always going to be perfect, but that's okay. It's not always going to work, but that's okay. But we are going to reach out the best that we can and meet the needs of our students and our community together. So welcome back. I am so looking forward to the start of the school year. Yes, it's different, but we get to reach out and connect with students and families. We get to shape the lives of the next generation together. I wanted to briefly go over our strategic plan. You've seen this before. You've seen that we're going to create the conditions today for every student to thrive academically, social, emotionally, for unlimited opportunities. And that doesn't matter what our platform is, how we're doing it virtually, in person, etc. And we're going to do that by engaging the students. You're going to hear a lot about UDL, and we're going to work on promoting physical and emotional well-being. And how do we do that on a virtual environment? That's something we're working on. We need to engage you as the staff in effective research-based professional development, now more so than ever. And by retaining and recruiting a highly qualified staff. And we need to engage the community. The old adage, it takes a village, that's never more important than it is today. And we're also going to keep equity at the forefront of everything we do. Our student-centered learning goal this year is we're going to engage all students in a rigorous, accelerated, universally designed, grade level standards, aligned instruction and assessment within a community that ensures equitable access and promotes physical and emotional well-being across instructional environments. It's a mouthful, folks, but this is true again, whether we are virtual, whether we are hybrid, or whether we are full face-to-face. Because one of the things that we heard from our families, from our students, and all of you, is that we need to have a rigorous, accelerated UDL and grade level standards and aligned instruction. So we will do that, and we'll do that together. Where are we? You've seen this slide, hopefully, or you've seen one similar. We're right now in enhanced virtual learning. Students are fully virtual. Our next phase would be a hybrid learning, where we would bring in cohorts of students. Probably half the student body Monday and Tuesday, the other half Thursday, Friday. And phase 3 is full in-person learning, like we were in February before we went. But to be honest with you, I think it's going to be a long road. I think it's going to be a long road in order to get to full in-person learning, and I hope I'm wrong, because I know you join me in wanting to see our students as soon as we can, that you miss them. And you know as well as I do that face-to-face instruction is the best mode, that virtual is good and we will do our best, but nothing is better than face-to-face instruction. So what does enhanced virtual learning look like? And I'll take some of the blame for this because of the messaging I did. What people seem to think enhanced virtual learning is small groups of kids coming in. And that's just part of it. We talk about enhanced virtual learning because it's different than what we did last spring. We're going to be engaging in synchronous live teaching and learning. The mornings, K-12, is live instruction. Yes, it's virtual, but it's live synchronous. We're going to be providing intentional opportunities for interactions with and among students and teachers. We hope that at some point that will be face-to-face, but it could be Zoom or it could be virtual. Continuing our curricular content, encouraging you to take care of yourself because we need you. You are important to our students, to our families, to each other, to the district, but you need to take care of yourself. We are going to be engaging in some uplifting social, emotional, and academic learning. Come on. Some help. Again, glitches. What does virtual learning look like? Continued designing experiences for all learners right from the start. We need to engage our students right off the bat from day one. And I know that you will do that. I know that you will reach out to those students that you don't see and that may not be engaged. Developing opportunities for small group in-person learning as we progress through the stages. Maximizing your expertise with intentional planning time. and emphasizing the joy of collaboration, because there's nothing like it when we get to talk to our colleagues and our peers and figure out where we're going from there. Well, as many years, we have some new staff members. So on the list, on the screen is a list of new staff members that are joining us. At this point, I'd usually have them stand up for a round of applause, and I'd ask you to welcome them thoroughly. For those of you that are new to us this year, welcome. You're joining a family. You're joining an incredible staff and community who look out for each other. At this time, I'd also usually recognize our staff with their years of experience. So, if you have been with the district 5 years, pat yourself on the back and let's give them a round of applause. If you've been in the district for 10 years, again, stand up, say woohoo, pat yourself on the back, and let's give them a round of applause. 15 years, do a cartwheel, because while you still can. And thank you for your service. 20 years, stand up and stretch, holler, shout to the rafters, and let's give them a round of applause. And if you've been in the district for 25 years or more, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your commitment to this district. Thank you for everything that you have done, and let's give them a round of applause. Make sure we reach out to all of our staff and thank them for their dedication and commitment. So I want to do a few COVID-related information and reminders. I'm modeling one of the masks that is available to you. When you see Kate and Kelly next, they are modeling another mask that we have available. Your building principals or supervisors have PPE for you. Please reach out to them. We have masks for everybody. We also have hand sanitizer. We have masks for students. We have clear masks. We have face guards and shields. We have been busy ordering, and I have to thank Becky Egan in my office because she's been kind of the PPE ordering person, and Laurel, who have been working really hard on securing PPE, along with Luke and Diana, who are looking at cleaning supplies and other PPE. In every room, there also should be, or areas should be, hand sanitizer on the wall, etc. Please read and sign the Employee COVID Reference Manual, which you can find those on the employee application links. And I wanted to also touch briefly on Dane County Order Number 9, which came out at 5 o'clock on Friday. And if you didn't think it was purposeful that it came out at 5 o'clock on Friday, so nobody was available to answer questions, you are wrong. This is the metrics that we have been asking for as Dane County school districts for some time. But I got to tell you, Dane County has been telling us all along that there was a possibility that they were going to shut down majority of the grades before the start of the school year. And so I'm so thankful that the board stepped forward and took our recommendation that we start virtually. And so what does Dane County Order Number 9 say, and what does it mean to us? It says that all grades 3 through 12 must start out virtually. It also says that grades K2 can start out face-to-face, and there are metrics. And so the next metric to be met is 3-5 could come back face-to-face if there are 39 cases per day or less in Dane County, a 14-day average for 4 weeks straight. So realistically, folks, I don't think we're going to get the go-ahead for 3-5 for at least a month. 6-12 is 19 cases per day, 14-day average over 4 weeks. So you figure another month out for that. But what does it mean, and what does it mean for our K2 teachers, and what does it mean for us right now? It doesn't change what we're doing. We're still starting K-12 virtually. We're still going to look at the data about 2 weeks in, to see if we start bringing back small groups K2. We can't bring back small groups right now, 312, because we haven't met that order. But we'll look at what K2 should look like 2 weeks down the line and maybe 2 weeks after that. Because what I'm cognizant of is coming up is thousands of students will come back to the UW-Madison. And while I'd like to think that we are going to be different than other colleges across the nation, and that our college kids are going to wear masks, are going to social distance, are not going to get together, are going to follow all the guidelines, and we're not going to see an outbreak of our college students, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. So I almost think that by the end of September, K2 will not be allowed to be in person either. So we're going to be looking at that. I have a meeting with Dane County Public Health along with all other superintendents in the county this afternoon, and we'll get more information on that. And I'll give you more information as we learn it. But right now, it doesn't change how we're starting. It doesn't change all your planning and everything that you wanted to do and will do with our students. So hang tight. While this came out, we are in a great place, and we will do this together. And as you're going to hear from Kelly later on, and as I stressed, one of our main goals is equity. No matter what we do, we're going to keep equity at the forefront, because we know fair isn't everyone getting the same thing. Fair is everyone getting what they need to be successful. And Kelly will talk more about our equity work, and you will see more of our circles and things like that. But keep that forefront with everything we do. Frank, our board president, wasn't able to join us today, but I'd like to share this message from Frank with all of you.
Today, I catch up with School Board President Frank Sullivan in the boardroom for this edition. So, Frank, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. It's a little lonely.
It is. And so, I want to start out with, the staff's been working really hard this summer and everything, and we're gearing up to start school virtually. Anything you want to say to the staff, or any words of wisdom you can give us?
Well, if you want wisdom, you're looking at the wrong person. What I want to say to the staff is thank you. We know that the last few months have been the weirdest months of your career as educators, maybe the weirdest months of your life. No one was prepared for sudden onset virtual education. No one wanted to go back to virtual education when we're starting up this fall. But realistically, we know it's the safest thing for you, safest thing for our students, and the safest thing for our students' families. So what we want to say is thank you. Thank you for the work that you've done. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And thank you for the work that we know you're going to do over the next months.
We're done. So I want to thank everybody, or I want to thank Frank and the board for everything that they've done. Hopefully you can see me now. Again, we're working on our camera issues. But thank you. Thank you to the board for stepping up. Thank you for their leadership as we get through this again. Our theme is we're in this together. So at this point, I want to pass it on to Kate for an update on our learning. Kate?
Hi, everyone. You can't see it, but I'm smiling for many reasons, chiefly because this morning provided the opportunity to, among other informational updates, reflect a bit on our educator service, both our new and returning educators. And when Tim invited us to turn cartwheels for them, I want you to know that Kelly and I did consider it. There's just enough space behind us to do that. So metaphorically, we're turning cartwheels. And Couldn't be happier despite challenges to be here this morning with all of you. So thank you for being here. Wanting to just provide a bit of an overview when it comes to professional development and learning this year. In the wake of our pandemics, both of them, both the ongoing pandemic of the devastating impacts of racism and oppression for people of color and the consequences of COVID-19, we are persisting and supercharging our at least two-pronged approach to ensure our educators have access mostly to each other and our own expertise, and also to resources that can improve conditions for all of our students and for all of us as educators as we learn together. Those two prongs really are around compassion, equity, and justice for students in our district, and we will really teach into and lean into our PPG, which relates to our circles processes, reading and research, increasing understanding of our own racial identity, the history and the role of race and racism in schools, institutional power, and structural oppression to increase justice for students in our district. Also, our twin strategy of keeping grade level complex texts at the center of reading, writing, speaking, and listening, and language instruction, knowing that all of our students deserve access to grade level work. And also, when it comes to thinking about mathematics, we are going to be encouraging our students in our priority strategy of making sense of problems and persevering in solving them. At K-12, that really looks like teaching into our greenlit standards aligned curricula of Bridges and CPM. Really wanting to also emphasize that our component of our student learning goal, which is around accelerated instruction, really means that we will be requiring that all students consistently receive grade level materials, tasks, and assignments, along with the appropriate scaffolds that make that work accessible. How we do that will be the work of our year, learning together how to make that happen. We are into the great wide open in terms of a very new landscape, as we all well know for our profession, and we will be leaning on one another to discover what that means for kids as we move through the year. Again, our professional learning summary this year are really around equity circles, PD days in November, January, and March, and of course, the richest professional development happens in your meetings, in conversations that may happen on Wednesdays, curriculum conversations that could happen on Wednesdays, and also in your meetings across the week. Curriculum-based whenever possible, using student work to reflect and adjust with colleagues. This happens sometimes in formal ways, most often informally with our colleagues, and wanting to think about providing learning for all of us around remote instruction that is just in time. Of course, our grandest lift is thinking about how to make all this curriculum and learning accessible within a remote environment as we begin the year, knowing that, again, we will be using each other to further that work. Wanting to provide just a moment to review our elementary highlights. We do have a PD plan that elementary buildings will be exploring this morning and over the next week at their sites, which will involve our Planning Wednesdays, of course, and our PD days, knowing that we look forward to some professional learning on November 6th, related specifically to wit and wisdom. And our pivots this year, all year long, will be based upon and hinge upon potential environmental shifts. So how we come to school will have great influence in what we learn. Knowing that in secondary, we are going to be grounding in universally designed lessons and instructional tasks. It's the work of instruction that we've always done, and it's really about using each other to just continue to teach into that and learn with one another about what that means in remote learning. Our launch of our year will, of course, be related to what universally designed instruction means in remote environments, and we will be returning once again to furthering the work we began last year within whatever environment we find ourselves in on those PD days. And of course, using those Wednesday professional developments and your meetings throughout the year to support district and building areas of emphasis. I just want to provide a bit of a background also on what this week looks like. I do believe that everyone has seen this schedule. Please feel free to check in with me, your building principals, if you are wanting support on what that might look like for your role. Lastly, I just wanted to share with you that whatever our roles throughout the district, we have each chosen work that is to one degree or another organized by a September calendar, which beckons us each fall to start anew. While much this September is different in some challenging and also bittersweet ways, much is also unchanged. We are still new. New projects will begin, new relationships and new students will come to us. And with that, a new opportunity to become more of who we are, both individually and who we're meant to be as a collective. And that is what learning really is, change over time. And in schools, we believe that that best happens in relationships that we will have with each other and with our students, and albeit that will look differently. So as the calendar turns a page, beginning again, same as it ever was, I want to thank all of you for your steadfast and earnest and stalwart work over the spring and in the summer, and more to come together. So I want to thank all of you for that. And Kelly is going to follow that theme of renewal as she shares some recommitments to PBIS. Thanks to all of you, and I'm going to scoot out this way.
Good morning, all of you. I am here to introduce the recommitment, like Kate alluded to, and rebranding of PBIS through the lens of equity that our PBIS district team has been working on for the past spring and summer. So as you guys all know, we place an emphasis on engaging students, promoting physical and emotional well-being, as this slide says. This is creating a classroom and a school environment which engages our students in instruction and supports the social emotional development of our students. We know that in order to engage our students in their learning, the first thing we must do is build relationships with our kids. So this starts at the door, so either virtual or in person. And my goal today is to provide an overview, and you will hear from your building representative more strategies to improve engagement and academic achievement. So first, our goal has not changed. Our vision of equity has not changed. Our compassionate school community will operate within a proactive system of support to promote a positive, inclusive culture with equity, respect, and dignity, so we can thrive emotionally, socially, and academically, all of us. So here's the district team members. They have worked in the spring and the summer building a systemic instructional strategies to provide equitable access for all of our students, while also supporting behavioral skill development and emotional regulation. The team has worked together to develop a common district-wide behavioral expectation matrices, and also have gone back and worked on building matrices as well. They also spent 3 days in a virtual training for PBIS leadership in August. We were supposed to get t-shirts during that training and take pictures, so I decided to wear my t-shirt today. And I'm hoping everybody else did. So the team is working on a 3 to 5 year plan that will include additional training for building level teams and to provide adequate support for all staff, and to provide training and tools to support equitable practices for students. Please look for opportunities to get involved in PBIS in your building, and the members of the district team may also reach out to you and tap you on the shoulder for your help and support. So this morning, I am just providing a district overview on providing universal instruction strategies to provide equitable access for all students in that positive supporting environment. You'll hear more about the new matrices and community building in a virtual environment from your building representative sometime in the next couple days. So first of all, the team wanted me to share with you some district data that illuminates the why of PBIS, focusing through the lens of equity. You will see this data disaggregated by race, ability, gender, and socioeconomic status. So as you look at this data that I'm going to show 3 slides moving forward, I want you to think about what comes up for you. What do you notice? What affirms or challenges the assumptions you have regarding student engagement? And what information is not representative? It'd be great if you would share some of your reflections at the building level with your building level representatives. So first of all, we have a count of district majors by student. So what you see here is the black bar is the percent of that population in the district, and the red bar is the percent of students that were referred for this slide for majors. So what we want to look at is proportionality here. So in order for these to be proportionate, we want both the black line and the red line to match. For example, if we look at our Black and or Hispanic students, for these to be proportionally, the lines should be the same length. So what you can see is even though Black or Hispanic students make up 9% of the population, 15.6% of them are referred for district majors. So that shows us they are overrepresented, or it's overproportionate by about 6.6%. And then I just want you to look at the rest of the slides to look at the same thing. The next slide I have is district in-school suspensions count. Again, these are by student. So they count the number of students suspended by each individual student. If a student has more than one suspension, they are only counted once in this tally on this graph. So again, the lines should be very similar if they are going to be proportionate to the population in the district. The last slide I have for you is district out-of-school suspensions. Again, it's the count of individual students, and they are each individual student, and if a student has more than one suspension, they are only counted once in this tally. Again, we look for proportionality with the black line, the percent of the district, matching the red line of the percent of out-of-school suspensions. So again, I encourage you to think about that, the data that you see, and reflect on the questions that I offered. Lastly, you'll probably see this symbol quite a bit over the next year, and I know a lot of you have already seen this. Again, PBIS, when we're thinking about PBIS, but we're also thinking about instructional design as well, is an equitable multi-level system of support. It's a framework designed to meet the needs of every child, every day, with a focus on educational equity at the center of it all. Remember, PBIS is not about trinkets or rewards. It's about explicitly teaching and reteaching expectations, ensuring appropriate interventions for all students, and incorporating social emotional learning in every lesson, every day. Thanks so much for your time, and you will hear more in the next 2 days from your PBIS district team representative. And again, from me, welcome back.
I want to thank Kelly and Kate for presenting this morning, and talking to all of us about where we're headed, what we're doing academically, socially, emotionally, etc. Again, as you can tell, one of our themes is in this together. And so we asked staff across the district, what does that mean? And what are you looking forward to? So I wanted to share this with you. These are words from all of us about what this means. Did it start?
No matter who you are, what role you are in, or what building you may work at, we all have the same common goal of making sure our students do the best that they can this year.
I never thought that I would be teaching reading, but I'm lucky enough to be a part of a kindergarten team that gets to do that, and that's part of being in this together, what that means.
What I'm looking forward to in the fall is togetherness. Even if that is in a virtual setting, just being able to connect with each of you and working with one another.
I have a great team, and it's not only my team, fourth grade team at Sandhill, but really the whole staff. We've been able to help each other a lot.
I feel so lucky and grateful to work with such an incredible team of administrators and colleagues and department members who are so supportive of each other.
I have missed seeing the students and hearing their laughter.
Being in this together means we are all working together to create a learning environment with a focus on the health and safety of our students and each other.
What being in this together means to me is doing all the small things right, doing all the little things right. If that means going out of my way to make someone else's day, that's what I'm going to do, just to make this whole thing easier on everybody.
We are really working together in these uncharted waters to ensure that everybody has the best possible experience, and I'm really looking forward to this fall, seeing how it all comes together.
It means challenging ourselves to think beyond what we have normally done in a classroom.
After spending time with those students who were able to come in and be part of our activities over the summer has inspired me for what is yet to come. Their energy, passion, and desire to be part of what makes Stoughton great is what I truly am looking forward to this fall.
What I'm looking forward to the most this year is just kind of getting to know my class, just like I am every year. What are they like? What do they like to do for fun? Just what kind of people are they? And I have my friends Justin Bieber and I have Steve Irwin here with me, and I'm sure as a team we can make sure that we are bonding together as a class and also providing good lessons that are fun and engaging.
There was a really heavy lift to try to get ready for this crazy school year, but there's a lot of intentionality behind the changes that we're making, and we're hoping to see a lot of student progress with our new learning model.
And so I don't see myself this year as a social studies teacher, as an associate principal, as a custodian, as a bus driver, as an admin assistant. I see myself as part of the most important team in town. And what I'm looking forward to most this year is when we can get all the kids back in the building, we can exhale, and we can look at each other and say, yes, we did it. So good luck to everybody. We can all persevere. Sorry, I know that was cheesy, but have a great year. We can do it.
I want to thank everybody who contributed to this video. Your words are inspiring, uplifting, and set the tone for this year. I also wanted to leave you with this as we start this school year and the unknowns and what's going to happen and where we're going and being outside of our comfort zone. And if you're like me, you wonder, how did the day go? And you sit there and stress about, could have been done better. So this is one of my favorite quotes by Emerson. Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities have crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. Welcome back, staff. This year is going to be incredible because of all of you. We're going to have our highs, we're going to have our lows, but at the end of the day, we're going to do our best and we're going to reach the students. and each day is a new day. So welcome back, and I look forward to seeing all of you, whether it's virtual or in person. Have a great day, have a great week, and let's all look forward to next Tuesday when our students come back. Thank you.